He laughs as the crowd claps. Nathan's toasting his biggest win yet. I smile from across the room because I know the truth. The contract he's bragging about just ended his career. I watch him lift his glass, his face glowing under the chandeliers. Everyone around him cheers, believing every word. He looks so confident, so sure of himself. But I can see the cracks he doesn't know exist yet. The investors beside him shake his hand, congratulating him on securing the deal. He thanks them, chest puffed out like a peacock. I take a sip of my champagne, letting the bubbles fizz on my tongue. My team stands quietly in the corner, knowing what I know. This moment belongs to me, not him. But he won't realize that until it's far too late. His glass meets mine across the room. I nod politely. He winks, thinking I'm just another face in the crowd. I turn away, hiding my smile. Outside, the city lights twinkle. Inside, his empire is about to crumble. And I'm the one holding the key. My name is Tessa Ward. I used to believe love meant building someone else's dream. I spent 5 years pouring everything into Nathan's architecture firm. I was the one drafting designs at 3 in the morning while he slept peacefully upstairs. I was the one fixing his mistakes, smoothing over client complaints, making sure every project landed perfectly. He took the credit. Every single time. I remember sitting at our dining table in paint-stained jeans, sketching ideas for his next big pitch. He'd walk past, coffee in hand, barely glancing at my work. "Looking good, babe," he'd say, then disappear into his office for another phone call. When clients asked who designed the plans, he'd smile and say, "My team did a great job." Never my name. Never acknowledgement. I told myself it didn't matter. We were building something together, right? That's what marriage meant. But deep down, a tiny voice whispered that I was disappearing. My ideas became his proposals. My late nights became his success stories. And I let it happen because I loved him. Because I believed in us. I hand him a portfolio of my own ideas. It's a Sunday afternoon, and I'm nervous but excited. These designs are mine, concepts I've been working on for months. I want to branch out, maybe take on a small project independently. He flips through the pages without really looking. His eyes glaze over like I'm showing him grocery lists. "Leave the big stuff to me, Tess. You're better at the little details." His words sting more than I expect. I swallow hard, nodding like I agree. That night, I erase my name from the design plans for his latest project. The client wants to see final drafts and Nathan's version isn't ready. So I finish it, polishing every line, perfecting every measurement. I email it to him at midnight with the subject line, "Ready for tomorrow." He doesn't reply. The next morning, he presents it as his own work. The client loves it. Nathan gets a standing ovation at the office. I watch from my desk, invisible. He sleeps soundly that night. I stare at the ceiling, wondering when I became a ghost in my own life. Cut to the ribbon-cutting ceremony. Reporters everywhere. Flashbulbs popping like fireworks. Nathan stands at the podium, tailored suit, perfect smile. The building behind him is stunning, glass and steel reaching toward the sky. Every inch of it came from my designs. I'm standing in the back row, holding my purse, watching. He talks about vision, about innovation, about taking risks. "I couldn't have done it without my incredible team," he says, gesturing vaguely toward the crowd. Everyone claps. He never says my name. Not once. A reporter asks him about his creative process. He laughs, charming and smooth. "It's all about trusting your instincts and surrounding yourself with people who believe in the vision." My vision. My instincts. My sleepless nights. But to everyone here, I'm just part of the scenery. A woman beside me whispers, "He's so talented." I nod politely, fingers tightening around my purse strap. That night, I go home alone. Nathan stays for drinks with investors. I sit in our empty kitchen, staring at my sketchbook. Something inside me cracks. I walk into his office late one night with dinner in hand. He's been working late again, or so he said. I thought I'd surprise him with his favorite takeout. The hallway is quiet, just the hum of the air conditioning. As I approach his door, I hear laughter. A woman's voice, light and flirty. My stomach drops. I hesitate, hand on the doorknob. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just a colleague. but something tells me to open it anyway. When I push the door, I see them. She's sitting on his desk, legs crossed, leaning close. His hand is on her knee. They both freeze when they see me. He doesn't look surprised, just annoyed. You shouldn't be here, Tessa. Not, I'm sorry. Not, this isn't what it looks like. Just irritation that I interrupted. The woman grabs her jacket, mumbling something about leaving. I stand there, bag of food still in my hand, feeling like I've been punched in the chest. Nathan sighs, rubbing his temples. We'll talk about this later. But we never do. I leave the food on his desk and walk out. I don't cry. I just read every clause. The divorce papers arrive 2 weeks later. No conversation, no attempt to fix things. Just legal documents delivered by a stranger in a suit. I sit at the kitchen table, flipping through page after page. He takes everything, the house, the firm, even my laptop with all my saved designs. His lawyer made sure of it. Apparently, I signed a prenup years ago that I barely remember. I was too in love to read the fine print. Nathan shows up one afternoon to collect his things. He looks at me like I'm a burden finally lifted. You'll thank me someday. You're not built for this world. His words echo in my head long after he's gone. Not built for this world. As if creativity and talent were things only he possessed. I watch him load boxes into his car, each one filled with pieces of my life. He drives away without looking back. I stand in the driveway numb. Then I walk inside, close the door, and lock it. For the first time in years, the silence is mine. Bare walls. A second-hand couch. The hum of the fridge. My new apartment is small, nothing like the house we shared. But it's mine. No photographs of us. No awards with his name on them. Just empty space waiting to be filled. I sit on the floor surrounded by bills, feeling the weight of starting over. Rent. Utilities. Groceries. Everything I took for granted before now feels impossible. I whisper to myself, maybe he's right. Maybe I'm not strong enough. Maybe I really was just the helper, never the creator. My phone buzzes with a rejection email from a potential client. That makes 12 this month. I close my eyes, fighting the urge to give up. Then I see my sketchbook peeking out from my bag. I pull it out, flipping through pages of ideas I never showed Nathan. Designs that are bold, different, mine. I grab a pencil. My hand moves across the paper, and for the first time in months, I feel something other than defeat. I feel possibility. Freelance jobs. Late nights. One rejection after another. I take anything I can get, small logo designs, website layouts, even sketching floor plans for tiny apartments. The pay is terrible, but it's something. I work from my couch, laptop balanced on my knees, surviving on instant noodles and coffee. Some days, I wonder if I made a mistake. If I should have fought harder for half of Nathan's firm. But then I remember his words. You're not built for this world. So I keep going, fueled by spite and stubbornness. Slowly, people start noticing my work. A small bakery owner recommends me to a friend. That friend hires me for a cafe redesign. The cafe owner posts photos online, and suddenly, inquiries start trickling in. They don't know my last name. They don't know I used to be Nathan's wife. They just see my designs and like what they see. For the first time, my ideas have my signature. Not hidden in the margins. Not credited to someone else. Just mine. It's terrifying and exhilarating. I'm building something. Slowly. But it's mine. I hear his firm lost a major investor. It's all over the industry blogs. Nathan's company took a hit when a luxury hotel project fell through. Apparently, the design didn't meet the client's vision. I read the article twice, almost laughing. That project was one I used to help him with before the divorce. He probably struggled without someone cleaning up his messes. He's drowning in the same arrogance he used to drown me in. But I don't celebrate. I don't send him a sarcastic text or gloat to mutual friends. I just take notes. I study what went wrong, why the client walked away, what they were really looking for. This industry is small. People talk. And I'm learning to listen. That night, I sketch ideas for the kind of building that hotel chain might actually want. Not because I have a contract. Just because I can. Because I'm good at this, whether Nathan believes it or not. The ideas flow easily, and I realize something. I'm not just surviving anymore. I'm planning. I form a small design development company under another name, Ward and Company. Not Ward Hale. Not anything tied to my past. Just Ward. Clean. Simple. Mine. I registered online, create a website with no photo of me. Just portfolio pieces, a contact form, and a simple motto, build with purpose, not ego. I want the work to speak for itself. No face. No history. No connection to Nathan or anyone else. Just designs that matter. My savings account is nearly empty, but I scraped together enough to make the website look professional. I spend hours choosing fonts, colors, layouts. Everything has to feel intentional. A lawyer friend helps me file the paperwork for cheap. Another friend designs my logo for free. We celebrate with cheap wine in my tiny apartment. They believe in me, even when I barely believe in myself. The company exists now. It's real. Small, fragile, but real. I stare at the screen, my cursor hovering over the publish button. Then I click it. Ward and Company is live. 3 women, all with stories like mine, undervalued, overlooked, brilliant. I meet Maya at a networking event. She's a structural engineer who got passed over for promotions 7 times because her boss didn't like women in the field. Then there's Ria, an interior designer who watched her ideas get stolen by a senior partner. And finally, Kara, a project manager who quit after being told she was too emotional for leadership. We bond over coffee and shared frustration. I tell them about Ward and Company, about my vision. They're hesitant at first. Starting over is scary. But when I show them my designs, their eyes light up. This is what I've been waiting for, Maya says. We work from my apartment at first. Coffee cups everywhere. Blueprints taped to the walls. My living room becomes our studio. We argue, laugh, brainstorm until midnight. Every line we draw is a step toward freedom. Toward proving we're more than what we were told. It's messy and chaotic and perfect. We're building something together. Something that belongs to us. We land a small project, one of Nathan's old clients. A boutique hotel owner reaches out through our website. She's unhappy with her previous architect and wants something fresh. I almost decline when I realize it's someone Nathan worked with before. But Maya convinces me to take the meeting. We present our ideas nervously, expecting resistance. But the client loves it. This feels fresh. Real, she says, nodding at the renderings. She signs with us on the spot. When I check my email later, I see an automated message. Her assistant canceled her contract with Nathan's firm. He has no idea he just lost a client to me. We celebrate that night with pizza and cheap champagne. It's not a huge project, but it's ours. The client trusts us. She sees our vision. And that's everything. I frame the signed contract and hang it on my apartment wall. Our first win. The beginning of something bigger. People start whispering about Ward and Company. I see it in industry forums, LinkedIn posts, casual mentions at networking events. Who are they? Someone asks at a design conference. Whoever they are, they're good, another replies. We've completed 3 projects now. Small but impactful. A cafe, a boutique hotel, a co-working space. Each one gets attention. Each one builds our reputation. Meanwhile, Nathan's firm loses 2 more projects. I hear through mutual contacts that he's frustrated, scrambling to keep clients happy. His name still carries weight, but the work isn't landing like it used to. I don't feel sorry for him. I feel validated. Everything I contributed before is now missing. And it shows. One evening, a former colleague messages me. I heard about Ward and Company. Is that you? I don't reply. Let them wonder. Let the mystery build. I'm not hiding out of fear. I'm staying anonymous because the work matters more than my face. And right now, that's enough. I see his photo in a magazine. The headline reads, "Once a rising star, now a question mark." The article discusses Nathan's recent losses, the investors pulling out, the projects falling through. It's not cruel, just factual. But I can imagine how much it stings his ego. I cut it out and pin it above my desk. Not as a trophy. As a reminder. A reminder that arrogance doesn't build empires. Talent does. Consistency does. Respect does. Nathan had none of those, not really. He had charm and a good smile and the ability to take credit for other people's work. But when that ran out, there was nothing underneath. I don't want to become him. I don't want revenge to be my fuel forever. But for now, seeing that headline keeps me grounded. It reminds me why I started over. Why I'm working 18-hour days in a cramped apartment. Why I refuse to give up. Because I am built for this world. I always was. He just never saw it. An email pings. Nathan's assistant, Mr. Hale, would like to discuss a potential collaboration. I stare at the screen, heartbeat steady. Read it 3 times to make sure I'm not imagining it. Nathan wants to work with Ward and Company. He has no idea it's me. The irony is almost poetic. I show the email to my team. Maya laughs out loud. Ria shakes her head in disbelief. Kara just grins. This is it, she says. This is your moment. I'm not sure what to feel. Part of me wants to delete the email and pretend I never saw it. But another part, the part that's been working toward this without even realizing it, wants to see where this goes. The universe has a sense of humor. I type a response, keeping it professional and vague. We'd be happy to discuss. Please send details. I hit send before I can overthink it. My hands shake slightly. This is either the best decision I'll ever make or the worst. I guess I'll find out soon. Conference room. Frosted glass. My team and I sit waiting. I chose a neutral meeting space, not our apartment-turned-office. I want this to feel official. Professional. When the door opens, he walks in confident, charming, exactly the same. Tailored suit. Expensive watch. That smile that used to make me feel safe. Now it just looks fake. He shakes my hand without recognizing me. I'm wearing glasses I don't usually wear, my hair styled differently, professional clothes instead of my usual casual look. Ward and Company, he says, looking around the table. Heard you're the best. I smile, calm and composed. So I've been told. Maya introduces herself and the others. Nathan barely glances at them. His focus is on me, but not because he knows who I am. Just because I'm leading the meeting. He sits down, spreading papers across the table like he owns the place. Old habits. I watch him, feeling strangely detached. This man broke my heart. Took everything from me. And now he's sitting here, completely clueless. It's almost surreal. He lays out his proposal, a large development project he's desperate to secure. A mixed-use building downtown. Residential, commercial, high-end. The kind of project that could save his struggling firm. He talks numbers, deadlines, prestige. His tone is urgent beneath the confidence. I can tell he needs this. Badly. I take notes, nodding occasionally. Asking questions that sound curious, but are really designed to expose his weak points. What's your timeline? Who are your investors? What's your contingency plan if permits get delayed? He answers smoothly, but I catch the hesitation. The gaps in his planning. He doesn't realize I already know every weak spot in his company. I used to be the one filling those gaps. Now they're just empty. My team exchanges glances. They see it too. Nathan wraps up his pitch with a confident smile. So, what do you think? Can Ward and Company handle this? I lean back in my chair. We'll need time to review. We'll send you our terms by Friday. He looks surprised. Like he expected us to jump at the opportunity. Friday works, he says finally. We shake hands again. This time I hold his gaze a little longer. Still, nothing. No recognition. I walk him to the door, my heart pounding, but my face calm. As we exchange drafts, he starts to notice something familiar, my phrasing, my design style, my precision. We've been emailing back and forth for 2 weeks. Every message I send is professional but carries subtle echoes of how I used to work. The way I format documents. The specific terms I use. The attention to detail that used to be my trademark. One afternoon, he calls instead of emailing. There's something about your work, he says slowly. It feels familiar. I keep my voice steady. We pride ourselves on thorough research. Maybe you've seen similar approaches before. He's quiet for a moment. I can almost hear him thinking, trying to connect dots that don't quite fit. But arrogance blinds him again. He convinces himself it's just coincidence. Yeah, maybe, he says finally. Anyway, the drafts look good. Let's move forward. He signs the preliminary agreement that afternoon. I stare at his electronic signature on my screen. One step closer. My team celebrates quietly. But I'm already thinking 3 moves ahead. This isn't over yet. Weeks of silence, legal back and forth. Our lawyers and his lawyers exchange mountains of paperwork. Every clause is scrutinized. Every term negotiated. Nathan's team tries to maintain control, but my lawyer is sharper. She's a woman who's dealt with men like Nathan her entire career. She knows exactly what to do. The contract evolves slowly. Nathan thinks he's getting a design partnership. What he's actually signing is a full asset transfer agreement. Once the project is completed, the building and all associated rights transfer entirely to Ward and Company. It's buried in the legal language. Pages and pages of terms and conditions that most people skim. But it's there. Clear as day for anyone who reads carefully. Nathan's lawyer even questions it once. But Nathan waves it off. It's fine. Let's just close this deal. Finally, the terms are airtight. The project and its assets will belong entirely to Ward and Company once signed. My lawyer emails me the final draft. This is it, she writes. Once he signs, you own everything. I read through it one last time. Then I approve it. Hotel ballroom. Cameras flashing. Investors buzzing. Nathan insisted on a big signing event. He wants the publicity, the attention, the validation that he's still relevant. I agreed because I want witnesses. Lots of them. The room is packed with industry people. Architects, developers, reporters. Everyone who matters in this world is here. Nathan works the crowd like a politician. Shaking hands, laughing at jokes, posing for photos. He's back in his element, performing confidence like theater. I watch from the crowd, dressed simply, blending in. My team is scattered around the room. We're invisible among all these people. Nathan takes the stage. The MC introduces him, listing his accomplishments. The crowd applauds. He smiles, soaking it up. Then he gestures to our table. And of course, none of this would be possible without the talented team from Ward and Company. Polite applause. No one knows who we are. That's fine. I'm not here for applause. I'm here to watch him sign. The documents are laid out on a table beside him. Gold pen ready. He lifts his pen, still completely unaware. I exhale, slow, quiet, final. Everything he once took from me now sits beneath my name. He signs the final page. Smiling. The crowd erupts in applause. Cameras flash. Nathan raises his arms like a champion. I remain still, watching. My lawyer stands beside me, arms crossed, satisfied. It's done, she whispers. I nod slowly. Years of pain, humiliation, and doubt culminating in this single moment. Nathan steps away from the table, shaking hands with investors. He's glowing, thinking this is his comeback, his redemption arc. But it's not. It's mine. Everything he once took from me now sits beneath my name. The building, the project, the prestige. All of it. He just signed it away without reading the fine print. I think about all the nights I spent erasing my name from documents so his projects would succeed. Now, his name is the one that doesn't matter. I slip out of the ballroom quietly. My team follows. We don't need to stay for the champagne. We already won. He makes a speech. Sometimes life gives you second chances. The crowd is hanging on his every word. He talks about perseverance, about believing in yourself, about never giving up. It's all very inspiring, very motivating, completely ironic. I almost laugh, because this wasn't his second chance. It was mine. He had his chance. He had a wife who loved him, supported him, built his dreams brick by brick. And he threw it away. He thought I'd disappear quietly, fade into nothing. But I didn't. I rebuilt. I fought. I created something better. And now, standing in this ballroom, listening to him take credit for a deal he doesn't even understand, I realize something. I don't need his validation. I don't need him to know it was me. The victory is enough. The contract is signed. The project is mine. That's all that matters. I turn and walk toward the exit. Behind me, his voice echoes. Thank you all for believing in me. I push open the door and step into the night. Word spreads fast. Investors realize what the contract means. It takes less than 48 hours for someone to actually read the fine print. A reporter calls Nathan, asking for comment on the unusual asset transfer. Nathan's confused at first, then panicked. He calls his lawyer, who apparently didn't catch it either, or didn't think Nathan would actually sign without reviewing it himself. His phone starts ringing, fewer congratulations, more questions. Did you know about this clause? Why did you agree to a full transfer? What happens to your stake now? He still doesn't see the whole picture. Not yet. He thinks it's a legal error, something that can be fixed with a few calls. But my lawyer made sure every word is ironclad. There are no loopholes, no exits. The contract is valid, signed, and legally binding. That evening, Nathan leaves me a voicemail. His voice is tight, angry. We need to talk. Call me. I listen to it twice. Then I delete it. Days later, the truth hits the headlines. Ward and Company acquires major development from hail firm. It's everywhere. Industry blogs, business news, even local papers. The story is juicy, small, mysterious firm outmaneuvers established architect. People love an underdog story. Nathan's phone won't stop ringing. He's trying to do damage control, but it's too late. His reputation takes another hit. Why didn't he read the contract? People ask. How could he be so careless? He calls me. I don't answer. Instead, I frame the first page of the contract and hang it in my new office. We've moved out of my apartment into a real workspace. 2 rooms, big windows, actual desks. The contract hangs on the wall behind my desk. A reminder. A trophy. A statement. Nathan sends emails. Dozens of them. Angry, pleading, confused. I don't respond to any. My lawyer handles everything. She sends a single reply. All terms were clearly outlined. The contract is final. That's it. No negotiation. No sympathy. Just the truth. Back to the ballroom. The same moment as the beginning. He laughs, still clueless. I take one last look, then walk out into the city night. The air is cool, refreshing. I breathe deeply, feeling lighter than I have in years. My team is waiting for me outside. We walk together toward a nearby cafe, talking about our next project. There's so much ahead of us. So much potential. Nathan told me I'd be nothing without him. For a long time, I believed him. I let those words define me, limit me, shrink me. But he was wrong. Without him, I became myself. I found my voice. I built something real. And that was everything. I pull out my phone and see another email, a new client inquiry. I smile and forward it to the team. We're just getting started. The city lights shimmer around us as we walk. Somewhere behind us, Nathan's world is crumbling. But I'm not looking back anymore. I'm looking forward. And the view is beautiful.